Frontline is a presentation of the Documentary Consortium.
This September in Florida, a record $105 million jackpot sparked the latest outbreak of lottery fever.
People are buying anywhere from 1 to 1,000 tickets at a time.
I'm going to play every day new numbers that come to my head.
You're going to get how many?
20 today.
And then what?
Maybe 20 tomorrow.
$1,100 worth of lotto tickets.
All it takes is one, right?
Folks are actually flying in from overseas to purchase tickets.
We don't have it in England, and I think it's fine, especially if I win.
Tonight on Frontline, how lottery fever is sweeping the country.
As of late yesterday afternoon, 42 million, which I want to remind everybody is $2,100,000 a year for the next 20 years.
More than half of all states now run lotteries, raising over $20 billion a year.
With the lotteries, you have the government out promoting gambling, and I don't think that's a proper role of government.
Correspondent James Reston Jr. investigates America's infatuation with lotteries and its ambivalence.
Lottery is gambling, isn't it?
I don't think so. It's not gambling.
It's not gambling, right.
It's entertainment.
It gives people false hopes, false dreams. And as my father would say, you know, if you save that money, then how much would you have?
Who really wins and who loses? Tonight, betting on the lottery.
With funding provided by the financial support of viewers like you and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This is Frontline.
Lotto fever! Show us your lotto tickets! I'm a lotto ball and I'm okay. Sleep all night and I work all day. It's lotto fever! Who's ready for lotto? $42 million and climbing. Yeah! This is it. $42 million and climbing. Have you played your lotto this week? Come on. Don't put it off till tomorrow. 7 o'clock, there'll be a big one. 6.
For 4 weeks, nobody has won the big jackpot in the Illinois State Lottery. And so it's grown from 10 million to 18 to 30. Now, there's $42 million for grabs on the streets of Chicago.
6, 23, 29, 30, 34, and 45.
Thank you very much.
The lottery in Illinois is thriving. $2 billion in sales last year.
6, 19, 21, 27, and 14.
What are those numbers?
My birthday, my son's birthday, my wife's birthday, and my wife's age and my age.
When I was 8, I went to St. Louis to live. When I was 11, I was already there. When I was 16, I got married. I got married again at 38.
And remember to remind everybody.
In an office overlooking the city, I found the woman who has decided that this week's jackpot will be $42 million. Her name is Sharon Sharp. She's the director of the Illinois State Lottery.
I'm a very directed person. I wake up in the morning and I think lottery. I go to bed at night and I think lottery. And my husband says if he hears the word lottery one more time, he's had it.
It's Friday morning, 36 hours before the drawing, and Sharon Sharp must decide whether to freeze the jackpot at $42 million or bump it higher.
Dave? Yeah. Hi, Frontline wants to hear our conversations every hour.
Okay.
This is decision making.
Okay. In comparison to the $52 million week.
If she bumps, there will be more lottery fever and more sales. But if she sets it too high, the lottery will lose money. This is public money she is risking. If you dropped a screw in your head and you suddenly took a wacko decision of bumping to $52 million, who watches over you? The governor?
No. No, that's...
It would just go through. You have the authority to do it.
The reason that I'm here is because I have the common sense to protect the state's money. This is, first of all, this job, you have to have guts. I mean, you cannot be a chicken and be in this job and run an effective lottery. But there is a time where common sense and risk doesn't add up. I will always risk to seek an additional revenue impact, but I will not risk if I don't think that risk is worth it. And in this case, that risk is not worth it. I mean, we may end up at 45 million tomorrow, and I will have to question whether I was chicken because I didn't bump it up right now. But I will also have to say that I did, with what information I had at the time, the responsible thing to do. And if I wasn't responsible, I wouldn't be in this job.
Okay, let's talk lottery.
Okay.
Where are we at, and what can people expect tomorrow night?
As of late yesterday afternoon, 42 million, which I want to remind everybody is $2,100,000 a year for the next 20 years. And what can we expect? It all depends on...
She's a political woman who once ran for Illinois Secretary of State and lost.
All week.
With the lottery, she gets to campaign every week.
Although for 42 million, people might want to get a little bit wet.
Yeah, right.
The lottery hates the rain.
The rain lowers the steam index, as she calls it.
I was waiting for you outside, out in the cold and the rain. I want you to remember I was out in the cold and the rain, and having a cup of coffee that I'd gotten over at McDonald's, and there was a bag lady out there with her bags, and I was just standing there, and she was standing there, and she started talking. She didn't know who I was, and she started talking about the dream she had last night, where she had dreamed the numbers of the lottery. And there was only one problem. She could not remember 4 of the numbers. And she felt that they had something to do with an address that she had known in her past life. And we sat out there for a full half hour, and she never knew who I was, but she started to go over her life and the events that took place where she thought that these numbers related to. And it was very touching.
But I ask, isn't the lottery really toying with people's dreams?
It's the typical lottery dream, and that is, yes, I'm going to win sometime. Yes, it's not depressing that I'm not going to get it. It's worth the dream to think I am. And it's not a sad story because it gives people hope. It gives them something to think about. She's going to have a good time today. Okay, we did 730,000 between 9:30 and 10:30.
Is this like election day for you?
It's worse than that. I knew I was going to lose the election. Yeah. I mean, I'm in a calculated risk situation. I feel like I gamble every week. I mean, and again, the gamble comes to head today. I mean, it's like being at a craps table and waiting for your numbers to come up. Yeah, I can't explain it. I mean, it's a stomach-crunching feeling. Director of the lottery,
she makes her weekly rounds, spreading lotto fever.
Oh, good. My name's Sharon Sharp. I'm the director of the lottery, and I hope you have good luck.
I'm going to win.
But she's ambushed by a disgruntled constituent, complaining that the lottery doesn't have enough big winners.
That's because we do have a lot of winners at 5 of 6, 4 of 6. I mean, we have thousands of winners that get 4 of 6 numbers, hundreds of winners that get 5 of 6. But Lotto is the game of the big jackpots. Because you don't know how many winners. I mean, you don't know what combinations people. The game is not designed to pay out for lots and lots of winners. It could possibly happen, but it's not designed that way.
What do you mean design? That mean
the game
the game is programmed?
No, the game has odds of 1 in 13.
How do you mean design? Design or program is not the same thing?
6 of 54 is designed to pay. The odds are 1 in 13 million.
Vasa, an immigrant from Yugoslavia, is a janitor in a nearby condominium.
If I show you this, okay.
He cannot beat the system, but not for lack of trying. Over the years, his net loss is $70,000. I realize I've met a compulsive lottery player.
If I win, I can buy 5 gallons of glue, of paste, wallpaper paste, and put all over this apartment, you know, and it'll be the most expensive collage because you can't. Each piece, that's $1. I don't think that gambling luck go by percentage. Gambling luck go whatever go. You know, not that in this area we're going to give this winner, in that area we're going to give the winner. Who's giving that winners? Who's giving that winners? Who's in power, in charge of that to say, oh, we have a winner for that area? Because people from there, they bet too, you know.
790,000, okay?
But it's not the losers who are on Sharon Sharp's mind.
Okay, he says we're not going to have any trouble reaching the 42 million. And the 24 million we need,
She's
okay?
comparing the action of this hour to the very same hour, last February, when her jackpot was 52 million. That's the Steam Index, and it's down.
Okay, if we can maintain the same stream of the 70% over the 52 million, or of the $52 million drawing last February, we're going to be just A-okay.
I've been around a lot of public servants before, but I've never met one quite like this. Is she a fun-loving tax collector? Or is she like the flim-flam man?
You can't play the game.
No.
Yeah, but you do gamble.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. At where? Atlantic City, Las Vegas, or what?
Yeah, but I'm a very low-key. There's a few slots and the video pokers.
You know those games, right? What is the relationship between those games and the real gambling world and your business?
Not much relationship. It's, I don't see it anyway. I mean, the lottery is not the quick fix. When I'm at a slot machine, it's instant action, it's quick, you hear the jangle of change. Probably the closest thing we have to it is an instant game. But as far as lotto, no relationship to lotto and gambling.
Yeah, but I mean, in New Jersey, the instant game is called blackjack. In Michigan, it's called Keno.
Sure.
You know, and so you're tapping
and that's
Las
why
Vegas,
the instant
right?
game is a little bit more, because that's when you find out that you won right now. Our other games, you have to either wait until that evening, or you have to wait for a week, or it's not the quick fix and the heavy churn. The true gambling is.
But lottery is gambling, isn't it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
You would persist in calling it gaming or wagering?
You may tear out my tongue, and I don't think so.
You don't think what?
It's not gambling.
It's not gambling. Why?
It's entertainment.
My first close encounter with the lottery happened almost a year ago in my home state of Maryland.
The largest lump sum cash payment in the history of the Maryland State Lottery. Shirley Adams, you are a millionaire.
Shirley Adams won $1 million. The promoters hoped she would be a winner cut from their own commercials.
You haven't thought at all about what you're going to do with it? You going to buy a new house, a new car, anything like that? Take a big trip around the world or something?
Quit your job? What sort of work do you do?
I work in the government.
But as a performer, she failed, and I was embarrassed for her.
I mean, aside from nervous in terms of getting all this money, what are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm planning on taking me a trip.
A trip?
Vacation.
Vacation? Uh-huh. What else you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to help my grandchildren with their education.
Okay. You married?
No, I'm divorced.
Divorced? Okay. And how many kids do you have?
I have 5.
5 kids?
Yeah.
Are they excited too?
Well, they don't know right now.
Oh, they don't know? You mean you haven't told them? Why?
I guess I was too excited.
Too excited?
About it.
That's just for you to hold. Also, what we'll do here, we're going to do this real fast. We're going to shoot a quick roll of black and white and color. We're going to put in our dollar sign here. Have you hold up your check. We'll call you anymore.
These ad men are a whole new breed of state contractors. I couldn't help wondering if all this was a proper and dignified role for my state government.
You have 2 checks? Oh, you won a Maryland State Lottery. My goodness.
I know what the state would answer. The lottery means $1 million for Shirley and many more millions for health and education programs for the citizens of Maryland. It's a painless, voluntary tax. But there are those who say it is also very unfair. Clarence Davis represents East Baltimore in the Maryland State House.
This is the neighborhood I grew up in, and we'll go down to the light and make a right. And then you'll get a good view of the total neighborhood.
The lottery, in one form or another, has always been part of his life. But to him, the impersonality of the state lottery is worse than the old numbers racket, and it undercuts the true dreams of black Americans.
You're saying that it was healthier in the old days when you just had the illegal state lottery
Yeah,
and
much
didn't
healthier.
have the... Why so?
Let me tell you why. If somebody died in the block, the numbers writer became the social worker. He would put out a couple $100, and then everybody else would throw in some monies. If there was a tragedy such as a fire or anything, the lottery people would always take care of business. If there was people in the block who did not have food, then the people who control the numbers or the local numbers writer would always provide the food. You see, the state is not taking care of people. The state is taking advantage of people's weakness for gambling.
And it's the same old story. The wealthy subdivision, they have a better tax base. But then the lottery comes from my subdivision. In fact, in the state of Maryland, over 2/3 of the lottery monies come from 2 subdivisions, Baltimore City and Prince George's County. And ironically, these are the 2 heavily black populated areas in the state. So they are taking the money from us, then why not give the money back to us so that we can provide our children with a decent education?
Davis once tried, unsuccessfully, to launch a boycott of the lottery on Martin Luther King Day. But his own uncle is not boycotting.
I play, yes, I really play.
But you say you play about $5 or so a day, which total, is that every day to include Sunday?
Yes.
So that means you're playing about $30 a week.
So more than that, so I went kind of heavy today. I play about $8 a day.
$8 a day?
$7.50, I think.
And everyone believes that he or she can hit the lottery. And it gives people false hopes, false dreams. And as my father would say, you know, if you save that money, then how much would you have? But then my father continues to play. But then if society says, hey, it's okay, here's an opportunity, it's legal, do it, then the people will do it. And I think government and society in general should discourage, you know, gambling, because they should encourage people saving their monies, investing their monies, and preparing for a better life down the line. But unfortunately, that's not the case in the state of Maryland.
Several months after I saw Shirley Adams win the lottery, I tried to find her again. She lived here in Anacostia, on the border between Washington, D.C. and Maryland.
So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune?
If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy-biddy-boom. If I were a wealthy man, hey, I wouldn't have to work hard.
Oh, no.
Long I'd biddy-biddy-boom. If I were a wealthy man, if I were a rich
She had a ho-hum job in the government. Her chance to get out of all of this had been 1 in 7 million.
I'm from public television. We did some filming of Shirley Adams when she won the lottery back here in February. She's left your apartment house, right?
Yes.
When did she leave?
Last year, though, before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And where did she go? Do you know?
I didn't know she was moving, because I saw some lights and cameras out there just like he had.
Yeah, right.
And I thought, I didn't see no police. I said, wonder what the hell happened upstairs. And I was telling the niece back. A day later, somebody said she won the lottery. I said, well, no damn wonder she's getting away from here so fast. Didn't tell nobody.
If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy-biddy-boom.
This is where Shirley bought her winning ticket.
Remember me? I was here in January looking for Shirley. Yeah? Yeah? When we talked to you outside? You remember that? What happened to Shirley?
From what I understand, she went to, I think it was North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Do you know where? We want to find her.
I have no idea. Paul? Paul?
The rumor has it that she only took personal effects and things of sentimental value and then told the neighbors, my front door is open, you can have whatever you want.
I never did find Shirley Adams, the millionaire.
I wouldn't have to work hard.
In Illinois, the lottery's ad executives pay a call on Sharon Sharp. This lottery director spends $22 million a year on advertising.
Yeah. Yay.
Today, she is reviewing a new campaign.
Because our recommendation lays on the table.
The first commercial is set in a laundromat.
She's in the laundromat. Now, the laundromat's in a fairly nice suburban area, not upscale, but certainly not downscale city, okay? And in the laundromat, you have a lot of time to think because you're almost being hypnotized by the dryers going around and you just sort of have a chance to wander off. Maybe she checks her laundry, then she leans back on the dryers. We come back to that master shot where we see her just sitting there thinking, and then we go in for a close-up. Go to the title, The Chance of a Lifetime. That dissolves off every week. Lotto. Intuition, believability. Pardon me?
I mean, the laundromat spot's out.
They might be in a good neighborhood, but there's nothing happy about it.
There's no happy laundromat anywhere. I don't want to portray Lotto as, you know, as laundromats and trash cans. I mean, if I was going to go anywhere, I mean, I don't want sailboats and yachts, but I don't want laundromats and trash cans.
These images do win her approval.
If you have a 23-foot boat, you want a 25-foot boat. You have a 25-foot boat, you want a 27.
Dream all you want, but no one ever won Lotto without a ticket.
I would buy a white frame house with a porch and plant geraniums along the fence.
If you have a dream, but you don't have a Lotto ticket, you could be dreaming your life away.
I think the money would help me put me in a position so that I could accomplish some of the things I want to do in life.
Lotto's always worth millions. Hey, isn't your dream worth a buck?
Yeah. Good to see you. Hi.
Sharon Sharp believes that the lottery must constantly find new ways to keep the public interested, or it will wither away. One of her new ideas is a television show, sponsored and produced by the taxpayers. Backstage, 6 instant game winners get ready to compete for the $100,000 grand prize.
Little Lotto, I play $5 on Monday, 5 on Wednesday, and 5 on Friday. And on the Saturday Lotto, I play $10.
And all life's a gamble. I've got a mother that is going to be 89, lives by herself, drinks probably 6 to 12 cans of beer a day. And she's fortunate to be alive, but she is.
My husband's going to have surgery the first week in June. He's got to have some heart surgery. And I would buy something for my kids.
The day that I bought the ticket, well, the day that I bought it, I was just stopped in the store with a friend. And so he told me to, why don't you try a few of these tickets? So I bought 5 tickets, and out of the 5, one had 3 TVs. I haven't been able to sleep much or eat much because now it's a reality. That's bigger than life.
The dream is here.
The dream is here. So now I'm ready. Go get this 100,000.
Pick 4. It's the instant game that's also your favorite TV game show, where one of these 6 lucky instant game players will win the largest guaranteed weekly prize in all of television.
Hi, Sharon. How are ya? Hello to you two, and welcome to the new $100,000 fortune hunt, where tonight we will be giving away huge cash awards. A car, ladies and gentlemen, a car, a decision. Maria, if we keep stressing you out, you won't make it through the show. You've got a decision to make. You are currently our leader with $1,700. You can keep the money and stay and play and pick another square, or you can take the beautiful automobile with our congratulations. What's it going to be? What should she do, audience?
I sure do. No, I don't take the car. No, I don't care. I'll stay with this.
$600, $2,500 for you. Meaning, Marie, we love you. You've just won $100,000. Come on out here and take this check. You are doing well the whole game. Let me introduce you to the director of the Illinois Lottery, Sharon Sharp. We're standing next to you.
Congratulations. We're so happy for the Illinois Lottery to you. We started exploring the idea of doing at-home play over the telephone. We're not quite ready for it yet, but in a couple of years, all lotteries will have television shows, my prediction. All lotteries will have television shows where a person simply using their phone at home will be able to call and participate in the game show.
In the past 20 years, a vibrant industry has grown up around state lotteries. Mathematicians and computer wizards joined electronic engineers to design and build the systems that connect the vendor terminal to the state's central computer. But the technology is already in place to eliminate the annoying trip to buy a ticket. The promise of the future is the lottery in your own living room, on your own television set. With state governors for clients, industry executives like G-Tech's Victor Markovitz operate under a constant cloud of suspicion.
I have never been arrested, and I was fingerprinted probably 100 times.
Really? Some states require frequent FBI checks on company executives.
You have to have clean hands to be in this business.
These companies supply much more than hardware. They are also the chief strategists for state lotteries.
They will sell, say, another...
This day, the problem is a state which has an excess of $30 million in lottery revenue and wants to double its money by inventing a new one-time game with a big jackpot. Markovitz and his staff kick the problem around.
You know, the question is, should we save 50 million or should we say 25 and then every week we will update it?
The people in this industry insist on calling what they do gaming or wagering, trying to remove the old moral taint of gambling.
Whom does it go to? Lottery is not a gambling. Because in lottery is not even entertainment. You buy a ticket, it's nothing exciting, buy a ticket, then you wait for the drawing, and then there is a drawing, and you probably will be loser, so there is nothing exciting about the drawing. However, the excitement is between, you have all the excitement during the time between you bought the ticket and you lost at the drawing. And then you can imagine, what would you do if you won? I mean, you're spending your money in the imagination.
No board. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll discard Jack, press the deal button, and I got a pair of 5s and I've lost.
Call it gaming or call it gambling, it's all the same to me. In one form, the state cloaks it with an aura of civic good. In another form, it's a job for the vice squad. In some parts of the country, video poker machines like these are seized as contraband. In other areas, the same machines are permitted and licensed. Here in Baltimore County, a judge has sentenced to death 30 machines. They cost up to $4,000 and can gross $50,000 a year for the owner. Experts consider video machines to be a highly addictive form of gambling. Yet some states think they are the cutting edge of lottery. South Dakota and Montana, for example, use these very machines as one of their lottery games. What is the limit of state involvement in an activity that was once a highly immoral and carefully restricted private enterprise? Where should lines be drawn, and who will draw them? And what is the future? Floating state casinos on the Mississippi? Or betting parlors in the mezzanines of baseball parks? Sports lottery is next. Oregon already has it. Illinois thinks it can do it a lot better. At Comiskey Park, Sharon Sharp paints her vision of how her lottery might entertain baseball fans.
Football. Tonight it would be Sox, Yankees, 3 points, which means that the Sox would beat the Yankees by 3 runs and you would win.
Professional sports to me is fun.
Yes.
And it's a national.
But the future of sports lotteries may be decided here in Washington. Senator Dennis DeConcini is worried that the bet will become more important than the contest, and the integrity of our national games will be undermined by an official sports lottery.
And in Oregon, the Oregon Lottery Commission...
In this hearing, players and officials of the NFL and Major League Baseball testify for DeConcini's bill, which would outlaw
that we can look forward to continuing having kids who will be collecting these football cards and baseball cards rather than kids growing up collecting lottery tickets. So I would encourage you with all my heart to prevent sports being sanctioned as an institutional form for gambling.
The point spread and the number of runs scored may overshadow the game's outcome and the intricacies of play. We've somehow got this...
Oregon's lottery director is under fire for his state's sports action lottery.
I don't think we've heard anything new, and, you know, Jim Davey isn't going to suffer here. If this passes, Oregon athletes, Oregon's economy is going to be the ultimate loser here.
Aren't you trying to build support behind a bill here?
Sure.
So, I mean,
but on the other hand, if you don't show some objectiveness, you know, I could hold the hearing and I don't have to call Oregon at all.
Yeah.
I couldn't deny Packwood, but I could keep the Oregon lottery guy from coming.
Right.
But that's not
In
my
October, Senator DeConcini's bill died in a House-Senate conference committee. He says he'll try again. This summer in Illinois, the state legislature defeated Sharon Sharp's bid for a sports lottery, despite Governor Jim Thompson's strong support. The commissioners of the league say this would destroy the integrity of baseball and other great institutions.
Then what they ought to do is go to Congress to get a bill that would outlaw Las Vegas. I mean, where billions of dollars are wagered legally in Las Vegas, and the commissioners get Congress to introduce a bill that would wipe out state sports lotteries, of which there's only one, tiny Oregon, and exempt Las Vegas, is hypocritical.
All of the stuff about why you shouldn't have a sports lottery, all of the game fixing, point shaving, it will ruin the fans' thrill of sports, that's all a bunch of hooey. I mean, there is absolutely no validity in that at all.
Are you going to tell me that the average British soccer fan has lost interest in his team because he can walk into a local bookmaker and put down as much money as he wants?
Here in Illinois, there were a couple basic issues. One, it's an election year. And when you're in an election year and you're an incumbent, you really would rather not have your opponent out there saying, oh, this legislator's for gambling.
Political leaders and taxpayers scramble to avoid extra burdens of state-imposed taxation. More and more states that don't have lottery now will look to lottery as a voluntary tax. It's the 4th largest revenue source in Illinois. After income, sales, and utility taxes, it brought in over $500 million to our school funds last year.
Did you play the lottery? Do you play it personally?
When the jackpot gets up to 25, 30, 35 million, then they'll lure me into.
And if you won?
And if I won? It's hello, George. He's the lieutenant governor.
It is Saturday night. In 1 hour, the Illinois State Lottery will draw the numbers for the 3rd biggest jackpot in its history, $42 million. 2 separate accounting firms are hired to watch the process, and each other.
Everyone that enters the room, including the 3 of you, you all have to sign in.
One major scandal clouds lottery history. One night in 1981 in Pennsylvania, almost all the lotto balls were injected with fluid, all except the sixes, which then rose to the chute.
And the second digit.
A studio announcer was the kingpin of the conspiracy.
6, and now the third digit.
This FBI tape shows how the injected ball number 4 could not rise to the top. The Pennsylvania scandal tightened security procedures throughout lottery land. In Chicago, they will first play lottery to decide which set of balls and which machines will be used in tonight's drawing.
Right now, he is selecting, putting in the balls that will ultimately select the equipment.
For number 8, number 9.
Because states were so paranoid about fraud, the first generation of lottery directors came from law enforcement.
Okay, we're now going to select machines for the daily game.
But with the new promoters like Sharon Sharp, security remains vital.
Number 10.
3, 2, 9, 10, 19, 12, 6, 1, correct?
Correct.
2, 3, 10.
Each of these machines will be tested to find out if any ball comes up more than any other ball, if any of the balls don't look like, you know, this is to test not only the operation of the equipment, but the movement of the balls. Number 3 has come up 4 times in the test. The 3 ball in the middle machine came up 4 times in the test.
One of the machines is replaced.
987654321 987654327.
And one more.
So
Keep going.
here.
Just we'll go back.
21,
Okay.
15, 9.
If there is no winner tonight, the jackpot will more than double, as many more players are lured to the game. Next week, it could reach 100 million. It's a chance for Sharon Sharp to set a new Illinois record.
Now, here are this week's winning lotto numbers. The first number is 37, 37. The second number is 51, 51. The third number is 50, 50. The fourth number is 41, 41. The fifth number is 49,
2 consecutives, 49 and 50, and 51, 3 consecutives,
So tonight's
1,
winning
nothing
lotto
in
numbers
between.
are
I mean, if
37,
any combination
51,
could be a roll,
50,
that could be it.
41,
But the coverage is too high, and I don't think it will happen.
and 1. Join us tomorrow.
Certainly an
for
unusual
the daily
combination of
game,
numbers.
Pick 4 drawing, and Monday for Little Lotto.
We'll see about 4 or 5 winners, probably, yeah.
95% of the number combinations are covered. For the individual player, the chance of winning is 1 in 13 million.
Hi, Sue. Sharon Sharp. Okay, have you gone through the system yet? Do we have a winner? 1 winner? 1 winner. Son of a gun. Quick pick. Okay. Where from? Where from? Okay. All right, what were total sales? God, we did better than we thought. It's gonna pay up. That's super. That include advance? Okay, everything. One winner. One? Okay. Okay, I'll be in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye. Somebody just won $42 million.
I got a better chance of being struck by lightning. One ticket, please.
There is one part of America that so far has resisted lotto fever. It is the South. Here in Mississippi, there is no lottery, but the state's progressive governor badly wants one. Only through the millions from official gambling does he see a way to fund his expensive education proposals. Governor Ray Mabus won't see me. He's for the lottery, but he doesn't want to advertise it. He wants to be known as the governor for education, not the governor for gambling.
I support your right to express at the polls your views on the lottery as a voluntary way to raise money. Let's put this issue to rest once and for all. I know that we will make this new decade and this new century to come Mississippi's best.
He calls a special session of the state legislature as a last desperate attempt to pass his lottery package. State legislatures are launched into a constitutional debate. In the late 19th century, there was massive fraud in a Louisiana lottery, which led to a constitutional ban on lotteries throughout the South.
Other forms of gambling constitute a lottery.
The governor believes if he can get the issue to a vote of the people, he will win.
Before we pass anything authorizing a gaming commission.
Quite a few problems already, man.
But he will need a two-thirds majority to allow a referendum. Several times before, the legislators have rebuffed him.
We're trying to decide whether or not we're getting the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart, but passing this bill before we get a constitutional amendment passed.
Will it change the face of Mississippi? Yes, it will definitely change the face of Mississippi. And there are a few of us who would say, hallelujah, it's time to change the face of Mississippi.
Clay Cooley is lobbying for the lottery.
My mother was a librarian at a university, a college in Jackson. The most money she ever earned in her entire life was $5,400. This is a struggling economy. It is for most people. There are people that are entrepreneurial that will do quite well in life no matter where they were, including, Mississippi or somewhere else. But we're talking about the mainstream of Mississippi is very poor. And we have to do something to create jobs and substantial jobs for those people, regardless of their current educational levels. And lottery and gambling and those things that come with gambling, where they are building of restaurants or building of hotels or dealing blackjack or roulette, are all related and they're all significant, in my opinion, to the immediate growth of Mississippi.
You have the state in the position of going out and promoting social ill.
Senator Hobb Bryant is against lotteries.
Things that government legalizes or doesn't make illegal, cigarettes, whiskey, a lot of things, and I think government generally takes a position, well, people are going to have these things, so we might as well legalize it, and of course, being government, we'll tax it in the process. But unlike anything like that, with a lottery, you have the government out promoting gambling. You have the government encouraging its citizens to gamble. And I don't think that's a proper role of government.
Good morning, Governor. How are you?
Attorney General Mike Moore is a close friend of the governor.
We just busted a casino in Indianola, another one in the northwest part of the state. You have people betting on football games. You have Mississippi State University up there with a big gambling pool up there. All kinds of gambling all over our state. And the outcry doesn't come then. The outcry comes when somebody says, it's wrong. Let's either legalize it or let's enforce the law very strictly. And so that's where I get involved, is I hate that hypocrisy. As a chief legal officer of the state, I have to enforce the law. And I'm going to, I'll tell you. If the legislature doesn't do something to legalize and regulate and tax gambling, then I'm going to enforce every single gambling law in the state of Mississippi. And we'll see if they like that.
Bingo is a treasured institution in Dixieland. But what is bingo? Last summer, the Attorney General took this question to court and got a shocking answer. Bingo is a lottery. In the battle over the gambling package, it is the answer the Attorney General wanted. He sees a political benefit for the governor.
They brought about 30 or 40 policemen in here, told everybody to go home, and shut the place down. They then dismantled the building and took all the equipment out of the building and all of the equipment and seized all the money that were in our bank accounts and that was in the building.
They just walked in and asked everybody to leave, and they just closed it.
Did they make you feel like you were a criminal?
Almost, yes.
The strategy seems clear. Closing the bingo halls will produce an outcry. The legislators will get the message, and the lottery bill will pass.
It's the same in the stock market, it's the same in anything. If you take those three elements, almost everything is a lottery. It's a sport, it's a social event. You know, it can be classified as gambling, you know. I mean, what can you say? The stock market's gambling. The stock market has the same three ingredients: price, consideration, and chance. You pay money for a chance to increase your money.
The courts have permitted Mississippi's bingo halls to remain open until the legislature resolves the issue.
Lucky winner for $100.
In Hattiesburg, the Temple Baptist Church is a bastion of opposition to the governor's lottery proposal. The chief lobbyist for the Mississippi Baptist Convention, Reverend Paul Jones, comes to deliver the message.
Many of the critics of those who oppose the lottery seem to assume, I guess, that the ethical system of the Christian is limited to the words of law and excludes the principles of justice, righteousness, and kindness, which are a continuing thread throughout the biblical revelation. Gambling mocks works, finances crime, robs children, enslaves addicts, and subverts governments. One writer suggests even that gambling was a contract between the government and its people. No other division, department, or section of state government is constructed to make losers out of its people.
You've got to make losers to have winners. It's the only department or division of state government that will work that way.
100% of the folks that pay taxes lose the money that they have to pay in taxes.
The next day, now a political lobbyist, Reverend Jones argues with Senator Vic Frankowitz, a lottery supporter.
I think on the whole, that's a whole different subject. I think on the whole we are losing when we pay taxes because we're not getting our money's worth for what we're paying right now. That's a different subject. If folks want to gamble, I mean, it's their private choice and their free choice. It's nothing that the state is forcing them into. And I don't see any big philosophical problems.
And the spouses who don't have the money because one of the adults in the family have gone out and spent the money. And it's not there for food, it's not there for clothes. So there are secondary people who are affected.
How is that different from what a family might spend on football games or televisions or VCRs or video equipment or playing golf or going fishing or boating or hunting?
Listen to them pleading for better education, an education that is equal to any in the world. Listen to them crying out for a government that operates better and one that doesn't go deeper into their pockets every time it starts a new program. Listen to them asking for the right to vote. Listen to them demanding a government that acts decisively and with foresight. Listen to the people of Mississippi.
The legislators do not listen. They reject the gambling package again. But this September in Georgia, a gubernatorial candidate won on a pro-lottery platform. And in October, the people of Louisiana voted 2-1 for a lottery. In the South, the barricades are falling. In Chicago, 2 weeks have passed, and still the winner of the $42 million jackpot has not stepped forward.
That old fever, it gets hotter every time I spend it.
First, I think right now with $42 million, the perfect winner would be a pool. A pool worker somewhere so that many families would share. After a pool, I'd kind of like one heck of a deserving family. If Donald Trump won, we obviously would not have a very good story because everybody would be very resentful.
Attention shoppers, CB's Foods Villa Park has just been notified that we sold the $42 million winning Illinois lottery ticket
I'm only his mother-in-law.
The owners of a grocery chain in a Chicago suburb won the vendor's prize, $420,000, 1% of the $42 million.
I have no wants. I really have no wants. I just have no wants. I just have no needs. This is an added bonus, of course, but I have no needs out of life.
How about you, Roy? My wife is great to me, and we have a good marriage. My kids are good. They work hard, and we just don't need anything else.
When I go to buy that ticket, I never know just how I'll pick it. I'm just hoping to be the next lotto millionaire.
They are on their way to meet the jackpot winner.
So full of joy to get rich right
I've been married 43 years.
You want to get that little bit in there?
Right.
He is a retired Chicago carpenter, Edward Sherwin.
How did you meet him? Tell me.
Oh, you'd be surprised. At a Polish Day outdoor picnic. Everybody did. Oh, good.
Their 5 grown children will share the prize with them. For years, this family has acted as a co-op, buying lottery tickets together. These are the kind of winners lottery directors dream about.
This is it?
One night I get home from the day's rat race. My little girl comes up with a smile on her face, says, "Daddy, we picked all 6 numbers right." Well, now we got a Mercedes.
I think they're a great group. They're relaxed and fun. It's a nice one.
Tahiti tomorrow night. Now I'm a firm believer that the Illinois Lotto fever is contagious.
How did you pick the numbers? What do the numbers mean? Quick pick.
Do you play regularly?
Every week. Tell us really the truth here. Your wildest dream, what do you want to do with the money?
Well, what kind of feeling is it for a father to be able to give a son or a daughter $6 million and to set them up for life like that?
Mr. Sherman, before you won this ticket, what was your biggest realistic dream in life?
all I've ever asked for is to be left alone and be lived comfortably. We retired and we're waiting for the gold to come, and finally it came.
In America, we do not have kings, nor queens, nor even dukes. What we have is something far more democratic. It's called Super Lotto, and it gives each individual the chance for untold wealth. So play Super Lotto, because even though you can't be born a king, no one ever said you can't live like one.
All I did was pick 6 numbers. Who could figure?
How you doing? Welcome to the Millionaires Review. Are you enjoying the money?
In our democracy, the state has now created a new nobility. These are the kings, queens, and dukes of the lottery.
Millionaire for $1 million.
How you doing?
And this is the annual gathering of the Royal Court. 240 Illinois millionaires worth over $2 billion.
Are you enjoying your money? $5 million. Not bad, not bad. Are you enjoying your money? How much?
Oh, yeah.
What are you guys doing? Nice seeing you. You both look well.
Thank you.
Hi. How did you win here? 10.1 million. Here's we have here 1.2 million. Not bad. How's your $2 million coming?
Good.
Okay.
Always looking good.
Millionaires reunion. Thank you. Son of a gun. How are you, Kathy? Nice to meet you. Come on in. How much did you win? How many millions? 8 million. Are you okay on it?
Oh, yeah. I'll survive. Where's the bar?
The lottery gamble has been woven into the social fabric. In this gamble, the house wins every time, taking 40 cents of every lotto dollar.
Oh, good. I mean, you are probably the cutest winners we've had, boy, I'll tell you. What's that 25 million doing?
Oh, it's doing
great. Oh, good.
For the players, it is a bad bet,
Oh, yes. Was it enough?
with impossible odds that are rarely advertised. There are millions who will never march in this procession.
I'm not sure now that I'm ever going to have a job that I love more than this one. Where else can you be on a shipload with 240 millionaires, each with a story, with all the attention, all the gratification? The only thing that would be funner is winning the darn money yourself. Some of you Saturday winners who only won $1 million.
The Illinois lottery needs more steam. Sharon Sharp introduces a new idea. From now on, the big lotto will be played not once a week, but twice.
I want a Congo line, okay?
To make your dreams come true, sweet dreams. A second chance to see fortune smile on you.
For Richer for Poorer, we have made a commitment to the lottery. Instead of making hard choices about social programs and taxes, we have let our politicians use the lottery